Good morning. Today is a new week for music, and in case you haven't, I put this loom up on Google Classroom, but in case you haven't clicked on the dance monkey, let's do this first. It's probably easier to see with just clicking it directly from your Google Classroom page, but if you haven't done it, try it. You have to sit in a chair and follow along.
They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I see to heavy time. And oh my, yours now. You make me wanna try. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. So I say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. I said, oh my God, I see you walking by. Take my hands, my dear, and look me in my eyes. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing my whole life. But you just beg to see me dance just one more time. Ooh, I sing to every time. And oh my, I like your style. You make me wanna try. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. They say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, 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 oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. Oh, oh, I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. They say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, 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 oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, hey. When you're done, I'll make you do it all again.
Okay, that should wake you up a little bit. Today, I am going to review with you the treble clef note names. We have done that. We did that in third grade, and we learned them right before recorders. And it's been a while, and it's kind of a weird, funky 6 months. And so it's time to go back and review them because we're going to need them for different things later in the year. So I am going to put up on here. There is an assignment to work on this week. Hang on. There's an assignment to work on this week, and it is filling in the correct notes of the musical alphabet. Remember, the musical alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you start all over again. And I'm going to get my marker. I'll be right back. I think this will come back to you as soon as you start to see it. Remember, the staff is remember the story of Mrs. Treblecliff's neighborhood. The staff is 5 lines and 5 spaces. And you can always remember how many lines there are by looking at the side of your hand. Right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there are spaces between each of your fingers for 5 lines and 4 spaces. And in Mrs. Treblecliff's neighborhood, there's always a Mrs. Treblecliff sign over here. And when you think about the lines of every single line in every space is a letter name of a musical note. And you can put notes on top of the spaces. You can put notes on top of the lines. And that's how people write music. That's how they write it down. It's one thing to just sing a song inside your head and not see it on paper, but then it's awful hard to teach that to somebody else because then they don't really know what's really going on inside your head. So that's why people decided to write things down on paper so that you could hand it to one person and they know exactly how to do it correctly. You hand it to another person, they do. That's why in band and in choir, when you get to the high school level and stuff, and in band, you all have things written down. So you all work together as a great big team. And if music is written down, you can also hand it to somebody on the other side of the world. And you might not even know how to speak the same language, but music is a language of its own. And you can if you can read music notation and you know what the lines and spaces are and what letters and what notes go on what lines and what spaces, then it doesn't matter what language you speak. You can all do it correctly together. And that's what we're doing today. And so if I'm looking up here, these are the lines of Mrs. Treblecliff's neighborhood. And there are 5 lines. So I'm going to put 5 notes. And I'm going to write the little sentence that helps you remember. Every good boy does fine, or you can do Elvis's guitar broke down Friday, or you could do Ernie gives Bert dead frogs. It doesn't matter what little sentence helps you remember, as long as the first letter of each of those words is the correct letter. And in this case, E is always the first letter, so that means this is an E right here. G is the second. You start counting from the bottom. B is the third line. D is the fourth line. F is the 5th line. And so it's really important that these words are in the right order because the first word always has to start with an E. It's really important that the second word always starts with a G, or the third word always starts with a B, because that helps you remember the order of the lines and spaces that are in the musical alphabet, okay? So these are all the lines and in the Mrs. Treblecliff's neighborhood, the lines and their notes, the note names. The spaces are the little, it's putting a note in between the 2 lines. And the spaces spell a word. F-A-C-E. Okay, so this isn't a sentence this time. It just spells a word. The bottom space is always F. One up is always A. Next one up is always C. Next one up is always E. So this will help you with the assignment in your Google Classroom assignment that you see. It's called Music Notation Packet for Treblecliff Notes, and it will help you. So if we're going to take a look at these. And I think the packet just has you, figuring out each particular note, but I'm gonna just review something for a minute here and remind you how to find these, okay? Okay, for example, and the very front sheet of your packet is a help sheet that has this stuff written on it that will help you remember how to find these. So it's kind of like a secret code, kind of like another little language, a secret code, and that the front page will help you with your assignment. For example, if you see a note here and a note here and a note on that note, I'm going to try to figure that out, okay? First of all, I need to know it. I'm going to put a little line under here. First of all, I know that this is line number 3. And if I think of the little help sheet that you have on your computer and that I just wrote on the board, if it's every good boy does fine. So this is going to be every good boy. So this is the boy line. So I know that that note is going to be a B because that's the first letter in the word boy. Okay. This is a space. So I have to think about my spaces. My little code for my spaces, F-A-C-E, starts at the bottom, F-A-C-E. So I know that's going to be an E. This one is on a line. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the little code for the little every good boy does fine for my lines. Every is at the bottom. Good. G is my next one. B, every good boy. D does. So I know that tells me that that is a D. And in this case, I spelled the word bed in our secret little code with musical notes. So this is just a little reminder of this is how you find out what the notes are that are sitting on the lines and on the spaces of Mrs. Treble-Clef. And I know that very front page of your packet is going to help you because that is exactly the same stuff I wrote down on this board. Every good boy does fine is a little sentence for the lines, Treble-Clef lines. F-A-C-E are the note names in the spaces. So F-A-C-E, and every good boy does fine. And I'm going to show you, I don't think this is on the trick. Remember I told you that this isn't on the packet. Remember I told you that the musical alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay? And if I start down here, this is Mrs. Treble-Clef again. I want to make sure you can see that, okay? If I know that this is E for every good boy does fine. Every good boy does fine. And I know that this is E, G, B, D, F. These are my lines. If I'm going to put the spaces between them, and this is F, A, C, and E, look what happens. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. If you put the lines and the spaces right next to each other in order, starting at the bottom, it is in the order of the musical alphabet. There is, C is way down here. This is middle C. We learned about that. D is underneath here. So if we said our musical alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, then I would know that this next one is G. The next one is A again. So we're starting over again, okay? So if you put all of the lines notes next to the space notes, and you put them in order, and you look at how the letters are, it really is in the order of the musical alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then you start all over again. There's no H in the musical alphabet. There's no W. There's no T. There's no S. The musical alphabet, like on a piano, if you were to look at the keys in a piano, it would start A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then you start A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You just use those same group of notes over and over and over on your way up all the way up to the piano. And so this is a good review for your note names for the Treble-Clef note names, the lines and the spaces, to get you ready for your assignment, which is in your packet on your Google Classroom. And that is going to be due in 1 week. You have 1 week to do it. I think there's 3 or 4 pages, but it's going to review over and over and over. Again, that very first page, if you have that in front of you, that will help you with your assignment. And have a great week.